There should not be any sound. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, and all the people that are watching this on YouTube later. Today we're doing a replay analysis requested by Montasir. So we're going to be primarily focusing on the gameplay of our Reds player playing with the OKW faction. And we'll try and give as many tips and tricks as possible during the game to hopefully give him enough pointers to get better. Let's get the party going. I might pause the game or speed it up, just depending on seeing what's going on in the game. So we got two Soviet players, or we got one Austria player, and we got one OKW player. Like we can see conscripts on one side. And on the other side we already see a support weapon campaign, which usually means a couple of MGs. And I think the title of the replay that Montasir sent to me was MG Pain. I think the main focus of this replay is going to be giving tips on how to deal with MGs. In this case it's going to be the max. Manpower, Mr. Chief, and there he goes. Starts making it. Get up a little bit. Alright. First things first. You're capturing the fuel. If you're capturing the fuel, you have plenty of time to build a sandbag. So I want to see a sandbag over here if you're capturing the fuel. Yeah? Keep that in mind. Sitting behind green cover, sure you can't get suppressed. So I'm missing a green cover building here. That will help already tremendously versus possible MG play. This is interesting, but personally I'm not a fan of things like that. Let's see what his move is going to be next. Two folks in the center, he's floating manpower. Both players are floating a tremendous amount of manpower. Something that should be fixed. See, did notice eventually. Both noticed eventually. So he is making the sandbags here, which is good, huh? Always a good spot to build sandbags. Moves back out of a favorable engagement. Good move so far. Still trying to make this wire, which is silly. It's gonna take a volley here.
We have a fresh grenadier squad.
This is okay move, 2v1. The better move here is, of course, we got 3 green cover over here. Move both units into cover, then this engagement is even better. And even here, green versus yellow, it's pretty decent fight for conscripts to take. Once again, it would be better to just take that point. Oh. Alright, let's put on the fog of war. Let's see what Montasir sees. Let's pray. So he notices he's gonna get shot at by the MG. Tries to move it out. It's fine. Notices the second MG, runs into it, retreats both units. Also fine.
We have more conscripts at our disposal.
And it's also kind of an issue with this map, basically, right? So he wired himself off one pathway. So there's only 2 pathways left, and that is this pathway and this pathway over here. And as you can see, that is very easily covered with the MGs. So he kind of screwed himself up by making this, which can happen. Thank you, Crossfire, for the host, by the way. Appreciate it. So now he knows that there is an issue, huh? With Maxims. So let's see what he can come up with. What he can come up with to fight it. At the moment he's deciding to blob hard, try and kill a unit. That's always good. Surprise one of your opponents with a huge blob. But on the other side, it also means he's going to leave the entire other side open. Which is quite dangerous on a map like this. To retrieve path from here is straight through the center. Which gives a lot of wiping potential. So now Maxim once again is getting set up. Gets the flame nade in at least. And like just a little unfavorable engagements everywhere. Not fighting from cover ever. Uses a little bit of yellow, but that's about it. Now once again his units were away and now they have to come forward again. And this is the range that conscripts excel in. And there's a yellow cover here, so he should probably stand in here. And once you see this coming, it's you can just better retreat, save some manpower and retreat. So here he goes with retreat, that's fine. So we see a mechanized coming up, which is fine. He has healing, so good. MG. It's a very heavy infantry build here on a very small map. Once again, also for your teammate here, this is just silly fights. Could have been standing behind the green cover. This is a good retreat though. Full model, 50% health, Panzer Grenadiers, always retreat those. Heal them up, saves you quite a bit of manpower. Personally, I'm not a fan of the Panzer 2 in any game mode. You don't see them a lot, whether it's 2v2 or 1v1. I think the correct choice for him here would have been on this map. It's probably better to go battle group because you have access to the league then. This is definitely a map where indirect fire is king, because if you just look at the map, it's not wide. There's only a couple pathways, so it's going to be MGs locking off like 30% of the map easy. So you need to win the indirect fire war on this map in particular. So it would have been a smart idea to go for the battle group here with league anti-infantry support camp. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. And what does his teammate have here? Check it out. So his teammate, I don't know, did he lose a grenadier? He lost the grenadier, that's a shame. That's something he should rebuild. Like, this is very little infantry to stay up on the field. Let's see what Montesio will go for next. He has a sweeper out. It's always a pro, a plus. And here, once again, these are the tiny things that matter. This unit could have been sitting behind the green cover here, or could have been sitting in the yellow cover here. Always look for these potholes. They are on a lot of spots on the field. And those give 360 cover and yellow cover. So those are really good to use. And these guys should be standing still already. Versus conscripts with Volksgrenadiers, you want max range engagements up until you have the STGs out. Then you can get closer. But otherwise you want max range engagements, that way you're going to excel in. And you want to sit behind cover. So if this guy was behind cover, this would have been an easy one. But now this is probably going to lose models quite fast because it's moving. It's going to retreat it early as well. Might even be a little too early for my taste. He's gonna support. Let's get. This is just a little too overmove, eh? You have one guy in green, one guy in yellow. He can only throw the grenade at one of the two squads. He was definitely aiming. You can see where he's aiming for. He was aiming at the squad in green. You move the squad in green out. You leave the squad in yellow. Now you move two squads out, which means both squads don't have cover. Both squads lose their or get their penalty for moving or for accuracy on the move. That's a shame. What I do like is the fact that you get an MG on the flank and you have that extra supporting squad. So this is a good engagement in the end for you. It could have been even better. We see a Panzer II Lux coming up now. You already have 37 fuel in the bank, which means it's like 1.5 minutes late. You're kind of lucky that there's no AT gone out yet on the side of Chief. He's not tacking up yet. For instance, Positive already has the D70 coming out in 1-1. That will beat the Lux. So if you want to go for the Lux, then it has to be at least 1.5 minutes earlier. Yeah, but I get that you thought he would throw a Molotov, and he was going to throw a Molotov, but you only need to move one of these two squads then. So now after all this time, he's going to move up to the north position. And in like minute 2 or something, he ran into this MG. And it hasn't moved since. So this is kinda silly move up. Also the MG is on a move kinda thing, so it's not gonna do much versus boys in green. He does have an extra squad though. So that's at least a fine move. Execution could have been better, eh? You can just send this one squad in first, then send the rest.
Enemy forces capturing supply sector. Anti-tank gun is ready for action. Ready to deploy. Infantry attacking in force.
Alright, you're dealing with the engineer nicely. Managed to force those away. Now you need to find a way to deal with this. This again, it's the little micro things, eh? You're just too slow here. Like the Maxim needed 3 bursts here before it suppresses your 4-man infantry squad. And so on burst number 1 and 2, you still could have moved it out of the arc and kept the unit in the game. This one is going very deep, very low health. Probably better to like stick it on the green there. See what you're doing with the rest of your infantry. Got some boys moving up. The Lux is on the field as well. Once again here, this is a very silly move. The MG has reset up though, so you're out of the arc. But you're marching forward into MG and double con, so better is to retreat and get yourself a better position. You can try and stick it out on the green cover here. You might not get suppressed by the MG then. It's also a way to get a favorable engagement here. So once again, unit positioning is something to take a look at. But now you're forced off the field. The 70 is here. Do you have any AT? We've got one AT going on the field from your teammate. You hard retreated the MG, it seems. That could have been a soft retreat. Saves you a bit of time. Lux is not doing anything at the moment. It's full health. You didn't see anything yet that can kill it in one go. So keep it on the field. Use it. Huh? You want to use it. Well, everyone is healed up, it seems. Now we've got a second STG coming up, so that's good. Getting the upgrades. You're going for AT in the form of a Puma, which is fine, but it's gonna set, like a build like this is gonna set you back so far in terms of battle vehicles, especially if you don't have map control, which you don't. And also here, it's the little things. You could have had the yellow cover there in that engagement. Alright, so what do you do now? You know where the Maxim is. So what's your reaction? Let's see. You're moving your MG up. You're trying to kill it with the Puma, which won't work. And you got 2 units on the flank, but that flank is a little too deep. You could have also run here and then you would have already crossed the MG. Another thing you can do, I would already move up this squad over there. You can also run your Puma right up there and use the smoke canister to stop this MG from firing. Got a squad over here that can move up, although there is a second MG, so best move here probably would have been using the Puma as a smoke machine. So move it up, click that smoke button, then push. This is also fine. You need to go this way. And here you need to go through negative cover, while here you just have a normal cover road. Yeah, and like now your entire flank is gone. Yeah, you retreat way too early. If you throw a flame nade here, your Stern Pioneer is close enough to do damage. Focus down the flamer first. You can win that engagement easily. So huge mistake there, going away. Now your Lux is only coming up, which is late. It's the time that he moved up his AT gun as well. And you know where the AT gun is. There's still a whole bunch of angles to fight, yeah? And AT gun is looking this way. You can send your Lux here. By the time it repositions, you can easily drive your Lux away again. So you're not using the stuff you have. You have all the tools you need, but you're not using them. MG is sitting behind the corner. It probably was on A move, which doesn't work if one of the crew members, when you are using it on A move and one of the crew members engages, they will stop moving because he's already fighting then. But it's not the MG that's fighting. So A move doesn't work that nicely. You need to manually position this. For instance, if you had just had it set up over here, these 2 units would have been suppressed. You could have used your Lux to fight over here. You could have forced everything off the field. Your teammate is doing a little better, it seems. So he is going to get flanked. Doesn't have the MG set up. Gonna eat a couple grenades here, it seems. And this is the time that your Puma should probably would be rushing over here to help. It should be an easy kill on the T-70, but you need to know that you need to move over. So you went for a second MG. It can work. So your opponent does have 120mm mortar out. Tear down the MGs. A couple good hits. This is fine, finally you use both units on heavy cover. And it's a little early retreat. Could have sticked it there. I mean, if you have healing, you can retreat them, but then you should have retreated them both, because this was about the same health, same amount of models. Yeah, so the Lux was out at 7 minutes. 7 minutes. It's been on the field for 6. It has 4 kills. I can get more kills with a Pioneer in 6 minute time if I try hard enough. So yeah, this Lux was definitely not used correctly. You already have 2 MGs, you got 4 infantry units. You're already lacking the micro to use them all, and you're going for another MG. It's a build order mistake. More than 2 MGs. There are situations where that is handy, is super rare.
Trooper ready for action.
And you really need to help your teammate with your Puma. And finally, you're going to. So the better build order decision here obviously would have been going for the Stuka. Yes, you're already this deep into mechanized, you can better get the Stuka. You're fighting versus a mortar, a Ziskorn, and two Maxims. Maxims that never move. So Stuka would have been a better build order, because then you actually have some indirect fire that can kill stuff. Yeah, you got an army. This is not a real army, yeah? So we got one unit at, what should we give it, 85% health. We got one unit at 55% health. We got a unit at 70% health, and we got a unit at 50% health. These boys need to be healed up. This is fine to engage with, but the rest needs to be healed. That's just gonna cost way too much manpower. Always make sure your units are healed up, and it's tough if you go for mechanized, huh? Because you have to rely on your healing bags. But you got plenty of munitions. You haven't upgraded everything yet, so still do it. This is also a little bit of a waste, in my opinion. It's 100 manpower that could have gone into something else. With the light vehicles, you really don't need anything else besides ship's turnpike here. A whole bunch of build order mistakes. Alright. What's the best position we can have to fight this? It's the green cover position. That's over here's green cover, and there's green cover, and none of your units are moving towards it. There's yellow cover here, so these are fine spots to stand still as well. But no, what are you doing? You're moving one unit behind it, and you're standing two guys this distance. This is fine, but should have been a unit over there. And it's often better to move all units close. What you have now, if you did move your units to the green cover, they can stand still and fight. Now you spread them out all over the place, you manage to fight this unit off, you all move them forward. Oh no, now you have to move them backward again. And then all while doing this, you lose about 7 models. Well, he lost like, what, 3. So very inefficient trades here. Really need to work on the infantry control. Make sure get the good cover positions. So that's green cover, which you can build for yourself, especially with Volksgrenadiers. Or look for those yellow potholes. Those are good. Move them there, stand still. Yeah? It's key. Standing still is key. Dutchman raid as well. I don't see any Dutchman raid there, Ripper. Yeah, at this point now you're using your 2 vehicles and you don't have any infantry. It's tough. Going for the Stuka, this is a fine choice. It's a little late, but it's fine. It's good enough. 5 kills in 10 minutes. It's not good enough. So if you go for light vehicles, which is fine, you need to use them. You need to use them in the time span. This is definitely not a Lux map. I wouldn't say there's a lot of Lux maps anymore. But, I would just go in 2v2 at least. Puma into Stuka if you go for mechanized. 3 MGs is too much. 2 I can live with. But you usually also want that a Ketan out. I wouldn't go 3 MGs. Never ever do this again. You basically screwed yourself out of a flanking wood. He's just laughing at you. He's like, oh, you wired it off. I can just sit here forever with my MG. Especially on a map like this.
The enemy has taken our supply sector.
That's unlucky. This engagement is a lot better, yeah? What I like that you do here is you got 1 unit over here, you've got 1 unit on the far right, you got 2 units on the left. With the traverse speed of the MG there's no way it's gonna suppress all. Yeah, so that's a very good move. I would have kept this unit also on this side of the cover because you don't really know what's on this side. It's like, oh damn, I'm running into a whole bunch of enemies. You're probably gonna have to retreat that. While here you can just go behind the cover and keep your units on the field longer. Yeah, moving your STGs forward so much is probably not a good idea. This is also an early retreat. Then you see the Stuka coming. That's a good Stuka, that's a lovely Stuka. 1 volley got more kills than your loops did. So you usually want to get that Stuka out a little bit earlier. So right now, what your mind should be going through is, what time is it in the game? What do I have? So, okay, I got my infantry, got it covered. Got my repair unit, got it covered. My suppression platforms out. I got my indirect out. I got useless vehicle out, which is fine. I still got the Puma, which can deal with do some anti-vehicle damage, but is it enough? It's 18 minutes into the game. Have I seen any vehicles from my opponent? The answer to this is no. So he's probably going to come with something big. Do I have any clue yet to what commander he has? Yes, we saw guards with the 120mm mortar squad. So this is 2 clues that you know that a T-34-85 might appear. You should ask yourself, is 1 Puma enough to hold it off? The clear answer here is no. So instead of going for your attacking up, you should prioritize getting extra AT out here. So I'm betting that the T-34-85 is probably going to do a lot of damage for you in a bit. Took some map control though, which is nice. This MG is set up wrongly. Moved 1 MG up here, which is fine. You can also stick it behind the cover. Same for this one. Stick it behind the cover. Makes them a little better. Here you should prioritize the AT. You might have killed it if you did.
T-34 ready for combat.
What's going on now? Kovic is repairing. He has his T-34-85 out. What level this is? I have no idea what level this is. I'm wondering what happened to all your MGs. Did you retreat them all? Because they had good spots last time I checked. So you retreated all your MGs for no reason. Literally no reason. Yeah, you could have had an MG here, MG there, and an MG here. You would have covered all angles. Hold map control, eh? MGs are to hold map control. But for some reason you decided to retreat them all, which is a shame, because now he can just move up his MG and take the position. Guy's almost ready. Should be moving up. Good. Do that.
The command vehicle has converted to a static building. SMG! Cover!
Here comes the T-34-85. Let's see what's the response is. Stuka moving backwards. Got a penetrating shot with the Puma. Fighting with the Puma should always be at max range, because it can outrange the T-34-85s. Meantime, you total brain AFK the rest of your army. That's a shame. Luca runs again. Really good. Another 14 kills. Puma's going into deep here. So yeah, the big mistake here is that you removed your MGs while there was no need. Second mistake is that you don't have any AT out. Never ever get the Shrek. Like, ugh. Shreks are for noobs. Going to heal everything, move it out. AT is purely psychological. Who did you listen to, AE? Right, nothing going on at the moment. Let's fast forward a bit. Yeah. Take a look at the movement. We knew that the MG was here. It was the last engagement as well. You got one unit on the left, one on the center, one on the right. They should probably all be moving close. Throw a Molotov or incendiary grenade. He retreats quite fast. Also curious move. You pushed him off good. You had a nice strong consecutive push. He couldn't hold you, which is fine. Now, what is this? There are two MGs retreating. First off, why are they here? They're not assault units. It's not the way to use MGs. Secondly, don't retreat them, set them up. You want to hold the land you just hardly fought for. This is kind of a shame. This is the time to build heavy cover.
We've lost a squad of infantry.
You lost the squad somewhere. Don't really catch rare. And you got your P4 coming up. It's a fine weapon. MG once again removed. Like, you need to hold the grind that you have. You can't just attack and then move everything off the field again. That's just silly. That's like the biggest mistake you are doing in the past 5 minutes. Because now you have to go forward again. Like everything you're fighting for, you're giving up.
Command level capabilities ready for deployment.
Instead of holding the ground.
Up here deployed, awaiting orders.
Your units are moving up very far. You know that the SMGs, you could also fight a little bit more max range. But he easily retreats. And you should be able to take the field. No idea where you're losing the infantry. Probably here. Don't know to what though, can't judge on that. That can happen. Two MGs on the same spot. Not set up either. Puma shooting at infantry. Usually not a good idea. You got a tank that's shooting at you. You're not firing back.
The enemy is reduced to 300 points.
Just don't. Nah, just don't. Still, both vehicles shooting at an MG. instead of trying to deal with that one thing that actually matters. 2 MGs in the same spot. It's asking for trouble. This time it's this barrage incoming. Oh, he actually cancelled this barrage. Both your vehicles are back again. This can easily still shoot at the enemy vehicles. This is still full health. So once again you give up your point without a fight. So this is like the mistake you have been doing for the past couple minutes. Decide to be going for another truck. Also a very strange decision, because you have 200 munitions, you can just spam out the healing bags at this point. And that's a lot of bounces, that's quite lucky. It's okay, this is doing nice, yeah? A good targeting with the Stuka. Now that the loser 2 looks 13 kills, 20 minutes time is not good enough. I would almost say it's even better to lose this, just so you don't have to micro it. And for fuck's sakes, put this thing on prioritized vehicles. Did it get any infantry kills? 1. Yeah, is it worth keep shooting at infantry? No, definitely not. Yeah. You know when you shoot at infantry, when you can use the coaxial because you can get that close. That's when you shoot at infantry. When you want to kill that last model with aim shot. It's not useful versus infantry. Period. Put it on prioritized vehicles. Harass that T-3485 out of it. That's my 5 cents about it. You can get the pintle mount, which helps a little bit. Okay, you have a bad case of the A moveritis, yeah? So you got 2 MGs literally moving to the same spot. You never want MGs moving to the same spot, and you're also using it on A move. Yeah, so they both will set up in not so good positions. Yeah, if I have 3 MGs, and I look at my map, I see 3 lanes here. Lane number 1, lane number 2, and lane number 3. So you always want all your MGs spread out like that. If you have this many, then spread them out. You want 1 MG over there, 1 MG over here, MG in the center. You just clicked sector assault, but you don't have any pushing power to actually kill something. So this was a good example of how to waste 250 munitions. Good Stuka though. Huh? Quite easy to Stuka this guy, but you're doing it. Still have to click the button, so you're doing that correctly at least. Now, oh, this is just asking to be shot at by a Katusha. Like your opponent didn't make one yet, but that's his fault. Again here, I think this infantry squad was standing here for about a minute. Green cover. Huh? Some people say it's purely psychological as well, but I think it actually works. Move your squad in there. And the high chances are that they won't get suppressed. Once again, your Puma is trying to kill infantry that it will never be able to kill. See, it's shooting at the vehicle. It works. It's an anti-vehicle vehicle. What might be genius? Now it's too close to the fire. Smoking out. Good move. Get it. Safety. You got snared in the north. That's a big yikes. Would have been nice if you could have kicked the sector assault now to defend your P4. So this will go down here. Overextending. At least it made you decide that you want that key. Once again, triple MG. For God's sake. Click, click. Yeah, it's not that many clicks to spread them out. Stop using everything at once. Micro, that's what you need to learn.
An anti-tank battery is ready for deployment.
Let's see, your teammate has a nice Tiger P4 Stuk in a Tiger. Not too shabby. This is already better. They're covering almost everything. That's just unlucky. Semi-unlucky. We did make him clump up. Like if they spread out like this, they can never get one shot at least. If you're clumped up in yellow, you're asking for it to get one shot. Finally at a Katen. 29 minutes into the game. We got dedicated AT on the field. It's about 19 minutes late.
Ready for action.
That's only a thing I do, dankpunft. That's only a thing I do. I'm gonna speed it up a little bit here. I think he picked it dropped in. He picked it very late, only for the sector assault. I mean, in all fairness, you can be very lucky that although Mr. Chief has 2 conscripts, he has yet to build his first sandbag. Because if I was this guy in this position, there would have been sandbags here everywhere. And I would have said, well, good luck pushing into my green cover maxims. What's the Puma is always good. Lux is, yeah, not that good. But it hasn't been good all game. I would never build a Lux, almost never build a Lux anymore. So very little reason to actually build a Lux. And yeah, I wouldn't, at this point of the game, this is a very important vehicle. I would almost never use it versus infantry. Because it's just giving away your position and just getting your opponent the ability to use his AT, move his AT guns into and kill your stuff. I would rather just have it in the back line, ready to take that first shot once the T-3485 comes up. Can definitely pen. And at our ranges. That's why it's a potent vehicle always. It's fast, it has smoke. I mean, the fact that you have to run into this MG, like, still, is all up to yourself. Because here, smallest map in the game, we got about 2 flanking woods available. And what did you decide to do? You decided to fucking wire it off. Yeah, that's like big brain time. It was like big brain time. Never do this. Never do this again. And now you have to walk into this. What is the arc? Oh, wait. Imagine if I could have gone around. Would have been so easy.
One of our machine guns has been silenced. Guards troops ready for action.
Exactly, a mine there would have been a lot better. Okay. I think we have a saying in Dutch. Only a donkey stops his toe against the same stone twice. I think you just retreated a unit there. That was suppressed. Now you run in the next unit to get suppressed. Little silly, isn't it?
We are losing supplies.
Use folks to give vision. Why would you need vision if the guy never moves his units? Shame. Could have run a bit better. Maybe he moved maximum. I always notice if my opponents move maxims or not. Okay, new P4, that's fine.
Taking fire!
So you guys need to find a way to take one of the two VPs here. Your teammate is a little stuck as well. Two Zisguns and two 85s. Yeah, always try and kill the Zisguns with the Stuka. And if you know that your tanks are going to lose, then you're going for the P4 here. And what's the P4 going to do? It's going to get penetrated almost every shot by the Zisgun. The F2 is those, and it's almost going to get penetrated by every shot by the T-35s. What's the better choice here? You want to outrange your opponent. Longest range in this map, and it's a very linear map, so you can definitely go for the Jagdpanzer here to deal with the tanks. Or you can go for the Panther, which can block shots as well. So I think P4 in this situation is a bad choice. You still have your Lux to do a little bit of infantry harass, and you got your Stuka to kill a bunch as well. So I would say getting a better tank here, probably wiser. Once again, like, this is just no. This is just a hard no. No. 1MG here. I like this one. Yeah, this is actually sending something. Could have been a little bit pushed up even. I like that, but this just a hard no. Poor teammate getting bullied here. Stukas, again okay. But what you want to use the Stuka at preferably is the AT guns. Like, you're fighting too slow to actually have great use of the Stuka. You're not wiping anything because it's 6 men and it's like super hard to wipe. So it can always just get repaired and refilled. And in between the Stuka shots, you're not doing enough damage to actually make them bleed anything. Just look at this guy: 400 manpower, 300 fuel, 600 munitions. Like, if I were him, I would have had the Katusha out and deleted all the MGs that you have. But let's see. How often has this thing taken shots at infantry? I think it took about 50 shots. How many kills do we have, chat? How many kills? Is it more than one? No, it's not. Don't use it versus infantry like this. If you want to use it versus infantry, which is possible, you need to make sure that this little thing over here is shooting. Otherwise, it's hot garbage. Or better, just click on prioritized vehicles and use it as an anti-vehicle weapon, because that's the intended way in this game, at least. Max range is the best range for the Puma. Never move it in. And standing still is better than moving. And don't forget to sacrifice a goat to the RNG gods. Oh. Using your engineer to repair your vehicles is also a good idea. That's what engineers are made for. It's probably the most important, one of the most important units in your army. You're moving forward like that. That's just a little silly. Let's get another good shooter. This one is great. You finally got a wipe here. To get a wipe, it's also important to kill the stuff. Nope, still gonna be epic. Oh, he cancelled it. Okay. Why did he not have it on that? Oh, that could have been so much better. I think these guys are still on A move. You are destroying this, huh? Kudos. That's good. Another P4 indeed. P4s, even the OKW ones, rarely win a 1v1 versus the T-3485s. So when there's two in the field, you don't want to get too many P4s. Going for a good assault here. Nice. Where's the follow-up? The P4 is stuck over there. Puma's not here. Puma could have been here. Would have been very useful. Ooh, juicy shot there. Now you need to stick. You need to stick it and kill the stuff. We had two P4s. We could kill stuff here. Quick gas firing once again. Ooh, nice one. Kill the AT-guns. Super important. You destroy AT-guns. No, no! God damn it! Oh, he actually got a second kill. That 5, but that's... Let's destroy this! Come on! Oh, let him get this stuff back. And all this time you didn't capture this is also a shame. You do such a good push, but you don't capitalize on getting that VP. Once again, not shooting at vehicles. See, he has a Panther. It's only facing in the wrong direction though, because now definitely every shot will penetrate. Blitzkrieg is in trouble. Blitzkrieg! Blitzkrieg backwards! It's a classic Blitzkrieg move, going backwards with Blitzkrieg. Yeah, this guy is floating a little. He went for second mortar. It's very silly. I don't think he moved it a lot. 70 kills. Oh. Even the Luke's got 27 by now. Because he's actually using the Lukes now a lot better than he did. And she died. Nice. Nice. Imagine if your Puma also was in this fight. You could have just dived upon this and killed it all.
The enemy is taking what we have secured.
And now you come with the AT, nice. Good moves, but I think you can go in on this one. Retreating that full health on is just a little unnecessary, just soft retreat here.
Engineers ready for assignment.
We need stuff to capture the points. MG can also capture, you know? These choices are a little silly, like you're sending infantry in here without AT support while you know that there's still 2 T5s there. You have your cat in here, then do backwards. Here in the center, same like you shoot again. In Joker, you got 3 MGs, which are not useful. What you need at this point in the game is an Oper squad. Needed it like 15 minutes. Kill. They can take those MGs head on, you know. So with guards, the scripts, they can capture the points. Won this 10 minutes ago. Captured the bloody point. And you got so many vehicles that you need to repair, and you're relying on this. This is mediocre repair at best. This is your repairing unit, and you never use it for repairs.
Make ready to move.
That's good, taking a little pop shot. Keep doing damage. With 1 model MG, 2 model MG. Have you even been reinforcing? We're slowing down here. Oh, this is just horrible. Oh no. No, why? Actually lifts. Actually lift. Why is there 2 model unit moving forward? What's going on here? All you need to do is capture the center point to win. Not a hard feat. You got 1100 manpower in the bank. Reinforce your squads. No. Just no. This is not how you play the game. Don't just go for 2 more tanks. Now you just want to make me mad. This is what you're trying now. Just trying to make me annoyed. Alright, I'm gonna fast forward. This is not worth my time to watch. Well, we'll just finish the game already.
Hands up here, ready for action. Receiving effective fire. Under fire! Hands engaging! Protect the flanks! Protect the flanks!
So many tanks and still not able to capture the point.
Medium panzer lost.
Oh yeah, army goes down here.
Hands up here deployed. Awaiting
Puma
orders.
on the hunt. Double snare. That one. I found them both, of course. Puma OP.
Light vehicle destroyed. Flanking position.
I got down, another P4 down. Panter on the hunt. This probably is game though.
They are down only to 50 points.
This proves there is no corruption. Target down, come here! Do not be afraid. These dogs die quickly.
Basically wait for the anti out, then I'll do a conclusion. Did win in the end.
They have 25 points remaining. Victory is at hand. Task complete.
Build complete.
Achtung, they only have 10 points remaining.
Good kills. Pretty nice. Alright, that's the end of the game. Let's take a look at the stats here. So we had one Storm Pioneer squad. He got the sweeper and the how's it called? The Shrek on it. Shrek only did 1000 damage, which is quite good. Only got 11 kills as well. That's because you get the Shrek and the sweeper, so you only have 2 actual models that can kill infantry. So my advice is don't get the Shrek, like ever. That's very little incentive to get the Shrek. MG teams, you got a 3, which is 1 too many. And you A-move them too much. You need to spread them out, make sure they cover their lanes. If you have 3, then use them correctly. Raketen very often retreated a little too early. The general thing that's probably also why some people are very good at this game, some are struggling, is positioning of units. With the Volksgrenadiers, we definitely saw it in the early game. They were out of cover a lot, or they were moving for too long in an engagement. You need to make sure you have the best cover and the best range, and try to do that while standing still as soon as possible. We had the looks built too late. The first 10 minutes it did nothing. You used it better in the late game. Rocket half truck was fine. Good use. Puma, good use versus the vehicles. So I think it took about 50 shots versus infantry. Did only 336. Don't use it versus infantry unless you can use the HLMG, which you didn't. P4s, mediocre usage. What did I miss in this game? I missed a lot of sandbags. This was a very big mistake. You never built a sandbag here when you had the chance. You very often retreated your entire army off the field where you could easily hold and stick around for the fight. Raketenwerfer was here at 29 minutes time. That's way too late. You probably need one around the 12-minute mark. Can be very handy for light vehicles or to destroy cover. You didn't have one out when the first D3485 came around. Stuka usage, very good. I would try to prioritize AT guns a little bit more. Or chief guy had one 20 mil stationary. You could have tried to take those out a little earlier. So positioning and build order are already 2 things where you can get a lot of wins, a lot of progress in. Yeah. Any more questions for now, Mr. Comont? I want to thank everyone that's watching this on YouTube. If you yourself are also struggling to advance through the games and you wonder why you keep losing, you want me to do a review replay, then hit me up on Discord. and we can talk about it, and then maybe I can help you as well. See you guys in the next video.